Hello friends, in today's lecture or workshop we are going to discuss about complaints. Now what exactly does complaint mean? Complaint basically comes from a French word called complainte, which ultimately means somebody who is having some issue with a topic or a subject. So let's take a quiz and we will be pretty honest as we take the quiz. So the first question would be, do you feel like most other people's lives are much easier than yours? Do you feel that there are many barriers in your life upon which you have no control? Do you feel people don't understand you or your problems? You feel overpressured, overstressed and depressive each and every day of your job? And do you often ask help from others and feel only few people are willing to help you? Well, if answers to one or more questions is yes, then you definitely have something called complaints. Now what are complaints? Complaints basically are expression of dissatisfaction, whether justified or not. This is a very important expression to understand, whether justified or not, because for you it's definitely justified, for others it may be contrary. So we have different names given to complaints. We call it dissatisfaction, grievance, grumbling, grudges, resentment, and you go on. The common complaints would be like, why don't I look beautiful? Why do I have to study so much? Why my parents did not guide me properly? My parents love my brother more than they love me. Why was I not born in America? Why did I choose this branch? My parents couldn't afford a better school for me, and the common one, the most common one, my destiny is not good. So now the question comes, that is complaining good or bad, because we are all doing all the time. Well, complaining is good if it is done for the purpose of highlighting an issue or providing a chance of improvement or course correction. But if complaints are done for the purpose of expression of frustration or as an outburst followed by no action, then it's bad. So effects of complaints: things look worse than they are, we develop rigidity, it becomes a habit, it kills innovation, it causes bad relationship, and definitely it causes health issues. With so many negative effects, why do we carry it? That's a question that bothers most of us, because all of us are more or less aware that we are in a complaining mode. But there is nothing we can do about it. Why? Because complaint is made of two parts. Complaint has two issues: an actual issue and an emotions attached to it. So for example, you see a car being dashed by another car. How do you feel? Well, most of us will feel bad, and very bad if it happens to be our car. On the contrary, if it happens to be a stranger's car, we would be feeling bad, but probably not that as bad. And if it happens to be my enemy's car who I could not thrash that particular evening, I'll be very happy. So the same complaint is having different dimensions to it based on the emotions attached to it. So now let us find out. It does one more thing, that it helps us to blame others or situations and avoids taking responsibility in tackling the actual issue. So I would be complaining my destiny is bad, my parents could not afford education, the country is bad, the political system is bad, the netas are bad, and we would go on. So we have two options: either give up on complaints or give up on your dreams. The choice will be yours. The cost of choosing that choice and the consequence thereafter will also be decided by you. So the steps to stop complaining is: number one, deal with the emotion and be relaxed. Number two would be accept the actual issue as it is, and number three would be work on the actual issues. So deal with the emotion and be relaxed. You can try the deep breathing exercise, taking 5 deep breaths and then focusing on your complaint, whether it's justified or not, whether it's giving you any benefit or not, and so on. The second step would be accept the actual issue as it is. All people have positive and negative sides to it. Negative sides to their life, negative sides to their situation. So what is wrong for me may not be wrong for you, and so on. And the only people who don't have any complaints are people who are already dead. So second point is about being grateful. Be thankful, because it is not happy people who are thankful, it is thankful people who are happy. Be content with whatever situation you are in, with whatever things you are doing. And then don't take anything for granted, because normally we understand the value of something once those things are lost. So next comes how to work on the actual issues. Actual issues like health, career, job, studies, relationship, money. Before we complain, we have to see one thing very, very clearly. How many people are there who are more happy than me, and how many people are there who are less privileged than me? Because as an old English proverb goes, I always complained about my bad shoes till I met a man with no legs. Dealing with relationship conflicts, showing willingness to resolve. You have to adjust to situation. Life is not static, neither the situation will be. You have to be ready to take that leap from one situation, from one scenario, from one environment, from one world to another one, which suits you. Because either you can stay complaining in the same situation for the rest of your life, or you can choose to have a better life, a more positive, a more harmonious life. Putting things in perspective. Every human beings do mistakes, because they say to err is human, to forgive is divine. So everybody or anybody who has harmed you definitely is a human. They may have their own justification for doing what they did. People hurt you not because of you, but because of themselves. This is a very important line to understand, because anybody who is hurting you because he or she felt something different about the situation, circumstance, or what you said than what you think. So they may be hurt in their office, so they go home and have the complaint for their wife. They have problems at their home, they come and have complaints in the office. The same person might have contributed a lot of positives in your life. Acknowledge that too. So when I have a friend who at 90% of time is helpful to me and 10% of time is not helpful to me, I should be focusing on the 90% rather than the 10%, because he ultimately is human. And for human, it's okay to do mistakes. We have to reach out to connect. Start talking. Rather than connecting only online, start connecting offline. Go and meet your friends. Go with them for evening tea, a evening stroll, a morning walk, anything. Express your thoughts and feelings, because everybody wants to get heard. Everybody wants to get heard. The biggest problem that we are facing in 21st century is that nobody has time to hear me out. Most counseling cases are all about people not getting an ear which is ready to listen to them. Discuss the issues. We often think that people would be taking us otherwise, or people would be taking us wrong if we open our heart and tell things to them. But on the contrary, people definitely like genuineness. People definitely like honesty. And people definitely like real people. And real people have problems, and real people do discuss their problems. Apologize for a contribution. Contribution in the negative sense, say sorry. There is one word which is so very powerful and so less used. Just saying sorry would solve so many problems in the world. And that's the most difficult word to say, because our ego comes in between. We tend to start thinking that if I say sorry, I may look to be small, I may look to be wrong. No, saying sorry means you realize that you did something which was not appropriate, and you accept that. And that allows the relationships to move forward. That allows the complaints to go down. Accept apology. Most of the time we are so much hurt and in so much love with our hurt, then when the other person is apologizing, we say no, we won't accept it. Because the moment I accept your apology, I choose to forgive you. And the moment I choose to forgive you, I let go of the complaint which I hold so dearly to my heart, because that is satisfying my ego. Practice forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is hard, but living with the complaints is even harder. Forgiveness simply means I choose to be aware of the fact that you are a human being and you can do mistakes just like I can do mistakes. We can trade our complaints with good fortune. We can trade our complaints with forgiveness. We can ask for help from people, from friends, from our peer groups, from our elders, and from anybody who we think can offer us help. Because when we are asking for help, we should be very much clear that asking for help should not be colored or covered with ego. One more thing which is very important to understand here is that complaint is because we are focusing on the effect and not on the cause. So my complaint could be that I am poor because my parents were poor. What am I doing to alleviate the problem? What am I doing to solve the situation? So if my parents were poor and I am still poor, the problem doesn't get solved. So what needs to be done is that since my parents were poor, I choose to work hard and be rich. Since my parents could not afford me a good school, I choose to work hard and get good marks. Since my parents did not send me for sports, I choose to work myself and do the sports I want to do. Appreciation and gratitude add good fortune, and complaining and grumbling erases it. So you see, the tower of appreciation has glory, fortune, fame, big success and money. As for complaining, it only has one: complaints and going down. If you have any questions regarding this particular topic, please feel free to contact me at joy.chatterjee@abs.ac.in. And thank you so much. Have a nice day.